Welcome to the DIY Writer Show with the mild-mannered, slightly heroic host, Jeff Bacon.
Hey, this is Jeff Bacon with the DIY Writer Podcast, and today I've been instructed by Nikki Nelson-Hicks that we need to get this circus on the road. We need to get going. Come on, let's go. Come on.
Go.
Go. Move it. How you doing, Nikki?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good.
Good. So, what you here for? No, just kidding.
I don't know. You asked me to come here, man.
I asked you to come over here and talk about what? Books
and writing.
And all sorts of other stuff. If anybody can't tell, she's from Tennessee.
I do not have a very thick Tennessee accent. I'm actually called a Yankee around here. They
Really?
do. They say oh my God, they call me a Yankee. Also, one time I had a woman when I worked on a job, and I got on the phone with her, and she said, "Honey, I'm gonna need somebody who's born around here. I just cannot understand you." Okay. But no, I really don't. When I lived in California, I never realized how thick my accent was until I lived there, and yeah, they made fun of me. Especially when I say words like cookbook, I can't help it. It just comes out cookbook.
Cookbook. Okay.
Cookbook.
So,
cookbook.
You lived in California?
I did. Yep.
You did, yeah. How was that compared to like Tennessee?
It was weird. Okay, when I first moved to California, I was terrified. I was like, what, 24?
Yeah.
And went out there. My husband was a Marine, so we were living on Camp Pendleton. I had to get a job. I was scared out of my mind. I was this little kid who'd never left Nashville, never left my home, and I was terrified. But I don't know, after 10 years, we lived there for like, what, 10 years or so? It was just what it was. Also, I'm a very much a adaptation or elimination kind of person. I just adapted, and you just move on. I mean, the biggest growth experience I had in California was jobs. My God, I got laid off so many times. It became a joke. Every 6 to 8 months, I would get laid off, have to get another job. And many times I was working 2 to 3 jobs at a time because I was probably going to get laid off. Oh, one job I had, let's put it this way, it was so sketchy. I didn't know anybody's name. Everyone had nicknames like Big Bird and Toad. The guys who ran it they were Dave and Pete. And the guy who actually was the big boss, he was never there because he was always on vacation in Thailand. We sold rock and roll posters and stickers and stuff, and I just did, accounting, office stuff, right? So yeah, I was the only female. There was only one bathroom, no toilet paper. And I used to use the bathroom down the street at McDonald's. It was so nasty. There was a guy in the back, his name was the doctor. He sold drugs. So, and again, I was 25 and I needed a job, so I took this gig. And I worked there for about, 6 to 8 months. And then the day after Halloween, the sheriff's office came in and basically ransacked the place. And then I had to call my second job and go, "Hey, I might not be coming in today. I might be in jail. I'll let you know." Click. Turns out what this job was they were selling copyright infringement. They were selling things without having copyrights, and they got busted. So the cops came. When they were turning their backs, one guy, Pete, he actually got a lot of the data and stuff and hid it and ran out the back. Big Bird went running because he had a lot of priors. Anyway, so we kind of shut down for like 3 days, and in 4 days I got this call, and from then on you had to go around back, knock a certain way to get in to keep the thing running. And then on Christmas Eve I got laid off, but we shut the place down. It was Christmas Eve. I was 3 months pregnant, and again unemployed, but I had my night job. Again, I was working like 2-3 jobs at that time.
I don't think there are many people that can say, "Hey, I worked with Big Bird, Toad, and Pete." And the doctor.
And the doctor was an interesting guy. He was, and I was 25. Now I look back on it and go, "Oh my God, how are you not moldering in some sub-basement somewhere? Jesus Christ, these were criminals." But I got money. Also, I got dividends. Every 6 weeks we got dividends for how much profit went up. So sometimes you might get $1,000 in your paycheck. So it was a weird gig, but again, it's a gig I got in California. I've never worked like that here in Tennessee. Those were I worked so many weird ass jobs in California.
That's hilarious.
It's a good job. I mean, it's good fodder. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good fodder. But again, all of these jobs I had, I can no longer put on my resume because most of them are gone. Again, of course, Big Bird, he gone. That job is, I have no idea what happened to those dudes. I'm sure they're dead now, or back in London. So yeah, anyway. Well, whenever I'd complain about something, Dave would go ahead, here's my address in London, send it to them, go right ahead. So he didn't care. Anyway, so yeah.
Wow, that's hilarious. So how many books do you actually have out? You know?
Let me see. I brought them so I could remember. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of my own, but I've got other stories and anthologies and stuff all over the place.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you predominantly write romance, right?
Oh, hell no. No. Well, no. No, actually, okay, where do you... I am actually plotting out a romance romp that's going to be done hopefully in 2021.
What
maybe.
the hell's a romance romp? Because I'm thinking really dirty right now.
Oh God, okay. Okay. This all got started because I got this email about, stuff. And it was all these women who are making like $30,000 a month. And I'm like, what the fuck? What are you writing? So I'm looking up their books, and it's all these, I'm fucking the ranch hand kind of guy. Those kind of romance novels. And what the fuck? So I'm thinking, I could do this. So I actually bought a couple of the books. I'm reading them and going, I could do this. So I started thinking about it, and I realized I could do that, but I'd be so bored. So I'm going to write a romance. It's going to be kind of a romp. It's going to be kind of fun, but there's going to be monsters and murders in it because I get bored. I get bored fast. If there's not a monster or murder by chapter 3, what am I doing with my life? There's got to be something going on here. I don't give a rat's ass about, I don't want some woman who's like, I need someone to save me. Fuck you. I mean, save yourself. I don't need that shit. So I talked with a friend who actually does write romance. She writes romance. And I was telling her my pitch. And she was like, I love it. I love it. Run with it. I'll be your beta reader. So I am working on that. So yes, there might be a romance in the future. Also because they sell. When you do a con, do you ever do like book fairs and cons and stuff? Whenever I do a book fair or a con, there are always these women who go, well, got any romance? Well, he kind of gets fucked in this one, but it's pretty much more monsters and mayhem than, sorry, I don't do that.
Yeah.
I do a lot of pulp, mysteries, horror, sci-fi, steampunk, a lot of action adventure like Rumble. Where's my Rumble? Rumble is like, it's got corporate espionage and monsters and mercenaries and some eco-terrorism.
You got everything in there.
It's every freaking thing in here. I love it. And I love it. It's a really good story. And my friend Todd Kiesling, he did the cover as well as my layout, which was wonderful.
That is a nice cover, yeah.
He did a great cover for this.
Yeah,
he did great. And if you ever met Todd Kiesling, he's wonderful. He writes horror. So
I've actually never met him.
If you ever get a chance, look him up. One of his books was recently pushed on Lit Reactor as one of the top 20 books for 2020. It was Devil's Creek. So yeah. Anyway, all these things. This is what I write, but I haven't done romance yet. And if I do, there still will be monsters and murders because I get bored.
I'm just writing down Todd's name and
Kiesling, yep. Look him up. He's really, really good. Yeah.
Get him on my podcast.
Oh, he's great. You'd like him a lot.
I like everybody. What are you talking about?
I like everyone. Goddamn delight. So yeah.
I'm a people person, damn it.
I'm a people person. Yeah. I love people. That's why I do. I don't know. I keep getting receptionist gigs. And I am the worst receptionist because I am that chick who's like, I one time had a phone call from someone who said, do you know who I am? No. Do you know who I am? Well, I guess we're even. So how can I help you? Well, don't you put me on hold. Don't you send me to anybody. Well, we're going to have a problem because that's my job is to send you to other people because I have no power. If I had power, would I be answering this fucking phone? No, I would not. So I hate receptionist gigs.
So have you ever had somebody call up and say, don't put me on hold. And you say, okay. And then you put them on hold for a while and just kind of, go get a cup of coffee, go to the bathroom, come back.
Oh my gosh. I haven't, but man, that would be so tempting, because sometimes the place we used to go into the office, but in the before times, I would many times get people who are very angry and very upset about something, and they want to yell at someone, and they're just yelling at you, and you just let them yell. I find it's just, when I was younger, it would bother me. It almost felt like it was a personal attack. Now I don't give a shit. I was like, okay, maybe if you yell at me, you won't go home and kick the dog. Are you happy now? Okay, yeah. How can I help you? Are you finished yelling? How can I help you? Well, the traffic's all backed up and I'm stuck in traffic. Sucks. I don't have a big red button that makes things go boom. All I can do is tell you, yeah, it's fucked up. What do you want me to do about it? So my very favorite was the person who called once. I want to speak to James K. Polk.
Okay.
The president. He's been dead for about 150 years. Because the building I work in is James K. Polk building. This person thought that.
Oh.
And I had to explain to him that the person he wants is dead, although he is buried up on the hill behind us, if that helps in any way. How can I help you? So
see, I would imagine you're the kind of person that says, no problem. Go down to 3rd Street. On the corner of 3rd Street in Sheridan, there's a Madame Louisa. Yeah. And she does tarot cards and she also does seances.
Okay. Do you have a Ouija board handy? Because you're going to need it. Okay. Oh my God. It happens all the time. But when you're on that level, you learn you just don't give a shit. I mean, right. And just whatever. I try to help people as much as I can when I have to do a receptionist gig. But other than that, if you're an asshole to me, There was a guy once who gave me PTSD one day. Every 10 minutes he would call and scream at me because he was upset because he was stuck in traffic on Mont Eagle. And he would scream at me and start telling me, you bitch, you cunt, la, 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 la. It's all your fault. Why is all this happening? Sir, click. And then 10 minutes later, the phone ring would be him again. He was just yelling at me. And he told me his name and all this kind of crap. And I'm just like, okay. And I got to the point, I was shaking. So I was only doing it for a lunchtime gig.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was real freaked out.
So
on that weekend, I decided.
You're in a building called James K. Polk. So obviously, it's a government building.
Yeah, I work for TDOT, Department of Transportation. Anyway, that weekend, I was still freaked out. And I thought, I need to do something. I don't know how to do this. How can I exercise this from my brain? Oh, yeah, I think I'll kill him. And at that time, I was working on a really violent scene in one of my Jake Ishi and Hedgie stories, and I murdered him. Oh, I rip his head off. I got things coming out of his neck like a Pez dispenser. It was brilliant. Then that Monday when I went into work, the commissioner, who was a really nice guy, that commissioner, he came up to me and said, I understand you had problems, blah, blah. And I said, yeah, it's fine. I killed him. Excuse me, what? I killed him in a story. Okay, in a story, but it's cool. I'm fine because you have permission. If anyone ever gives you any kind of shit, you can hang up the phone. So I got permission from the commissioner. Somebody gives me shit, click, I can hang up the phone. But for me, it was quite cathartic to murder Jed. So whenever I think about that,
cathartic or therapeutic?
Oh, murder is so therapeutic. So I always get the warm fuzzies when I think about killing Jed. So, as I do that, whenever everybody gives me shit, I go, okay, victim number 3. I'm always looking for people to kill. So
it's amazing how those types of people really can inspire you.
Never piss off a writer.
Yeah, I mean, you just all of a sudden, I know what that character's name is. I know what their demeanor is, and I know how they're going to die.
Yep. When I was writing the Rumble book, a friend of mine just got out of a really bad meeting or something. And she was like, hey, can you kill somebody for me? And I'm like, all right, who do you want me to kill? She said, this chick, she was so, I can't stand her. Okay, what's her name? Oh, give me some details about her. And so I did. I put her in Rumble. And unfortunately, she was really hard to kill. The character became this very bureaucratic with a very mean swing of a clipboard. It was really hard. I kept trying to kill her. She kept weaseling her way out. I'm like, oh, shit, I gotta kill this character. Finally, I did. So, but Julie knows who she is, and for my friend, I killed a person. But people often do that. I used to have a thing called Keyboard Assassin. When I had a Patreon for like a hot second, I had a thing called Keyboard Assassin. And Keyboard Assassin was, you pay me $25 and I'll kill you.
I'm just thinking this is a big business.
You would think it would be, but it wasn't.
Think it would be, yeah.
It
I was
wasn't.
just kind of thinking, contract writing.
That's what I thought too. I thought this will go off, but it didn't. I didn't get much, but Keyboard Assassin, I'll kill you in a story. I also had Keyboard Hero, where if you pay me $25, I'll make you a hero. And I only ever got one commission for that. This woman contacted me and said, yeah, I want you to do this hero thing. I said, great. So who do you want to be? Blah, blah, blah. Give me your details. Oh, no, it's not for me. It's for my friend. Her son just died of cancer, and I want you to make him a hero and give her a story. I'm like, okay, no fucking pressure. So what's his name? He's like 12. Luckily, this guy left a really good carbon footprint on the internet, so I could find all these things about him, found out what he liked, his favorite color, all the things, so I could make a story, which I did. I wrote it, sent it to her, we did all the things. Like, great, do you like it? Oh yes, it's great. I can't wait to give it to his mom on her birthday, where they read it out to the family.
Oh, no.
Again, no pressure.
Yeah.
Luckily, the mother loved it, and they wanted me to write more stories on him as a character and continuing his adventure. But I didn't, because quite frankly, I didn't want the stress, man. That's a lot of pressure. And I had at that time, a lot of other contracts that were waiting for me to do. Back when I had contracts. So people wanted my work. Now I'm just diddling in the dark all by myself like a teenage boy.
So you went from being with a publishing house to being an indie author, Yes. What was it? I mean, what was it like with the publishers? I mean, now you say, well, nobody wants me anymore, whatever. I mean, sir, you look like, you have a good amount of books out there.
I do. Well, I don't know. I don't. Okay, the publishing houses I've dealt with so far, it's just like you're pretty much entitled to them. You're enslaved to them. You have to do what they want to do, which is fine, because all artistry and artists need some kind of blocks to work with, or I'll just flop around. But at the same time, he's getting 60%, I'm getting 40.
Yeah,
that's fucked up. I'm doing all the work.
Yeah.
Not only that, he's basically publishing it, sure, but I'm doing all of the advertising. I'm doing all of the marketing. I'm doing all of that. He's not doing shit, and I'm not making shit. And then I've had a couple of books I put out with people I've never seen a dime for. Not a dime. Or I'll be published. I'll be promised, oh, this is going to be, I'll be making so much money, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Great. At the end of the year, I get my little royalty check, and it's $27.
Woohoo.
I'm like, yay. I thought
So you just turn around to your husband's desk and go, baby, we're getting pizza tonight.
Getting pizza. Ooh, DiGiorno tonight, baby.
DiGiorno.
2 of them. Boy, yeah. Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah. So again, I used to be a part of the Nashville Writers Group, eons and eons back. Actually, I was one of the founding members of it. And when the little newbies would come to me and talk to me, I'd tell them flat out, if you're doing this for money, good luck. Maybe you'll be that guy who finds the vein, that finds the money. But there's not a lot of money in this gig. Just not. I haven't found it yet.
The only thing I would say is that I know a lot of authors that make a living.
How do they do it?
And it's a lot of books, and it's, marketing, there's some luck into it, there's that type of thing. Yeah. But, Craig Martell's 20 books to 50K seems to work for a majority of people.
Really? Yeah. I will look it up. I've been trying to find things and learn things, and
he's got a methodology behind his madness, and he is mad. I mean, he's an angry,
a good madman.
He's an angry Marine.
Well, I know many angry Marines, so I have no problem with that.
But yeah, if you go into his group on Facebook, and him and Michael Anderle just kind of lay it out and say, okay, this is
what you need to do.
this is what the most common recipe for success is. And bing, 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 bing. And they run the group kind of like their it's a military operation at times.
Awesome.
Somebody asks a question, it's like, look it up, use the search tool. They don't actually answer the question. They're just like,
I love that.
you know, we're not going to answer this again. It's been answered 2 months ago. Look it up.
Google it, sweetie. Google it.
Yeah,
So
and it's kind of a tough love thing. And he does these live things like the 5-minute author and all that kind of stuff. But in general, yeah, I mean, obviously, first thing is, write a good book.
write books, write good books.
Write good books, and he just says, it's going to probably take about 20 of them before you actually start seeing a decent amount of money. And then his other thing is, don't do anything stupid.
Like what?
Don't spend $1,000 on Amazon advertising when you're only making 300.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. No. Yes. Yeah.
Don't knock yourself out with Facebook ads before you actually get profitable on Amazon ads.
Right.
And then it kind of goes into like Brian Cohen's advertising or his Amazon advertising and stuff like that. But I mean, there's some things out there that just seem to work for most people. And
Cool.
if they don't work, there's usually, problem with the cover, problem with the blurb, problem with the book, blah, 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 blah,
And be ready to change. I know
yeah,
a couple of writers who don't want to change. This is my vision. This is my, do you want to make any money?
yeah.
Obviously this vision isn't working. Be humble enough to know to change.
And that's part of his message too. But the really nice thing about it is it kind of says, okay, I think the premise between him and Cohen and most of the people that I respect is that you got to put in the work, and it's going to take about 20 books before you start seeing something that's going to resemble some sort of a profit, so until then, work your job, do this, do that, just get your 20 books out. 20 quality books will do it.
And do good work. Because that's what I'm kind of focusing on, is to write good stories.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to get my panties too much in a box. I got a job. I got a day job. I got the insurance. I got all the adult crap taken care of. Focus on writing a good story. A woman I met about a year ago, we got to talking, and she's what she said. She said, you know what? I don't care if this book ever sells. I wrote it because I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. I have a job. I've got all that. This for me is fun. And it's what she does, one book a year. She focuses on one project a year. And she's like, I'm not trying to become, the next whatever. I was like, you know what? That's a great way to look at it, because if you don't, you're going to get yourself so messed up in, well, if it didn't make money, therefore it's not a good story. And that's not true. There's a lot of stories out there that are really good, but for whatever reason, they just don't make the ripples. They don't get in the right hands.
Right.
Because,
and I think there's a lot of authors out there that advertise how to make a lot of money in books, that they make a lot of money off their training in their books on how to sell a lot of books.
Yeah.
But I don't think they sell a lot of books.
Yeah, I have a friend who's about to put out a book about that too, about basically how to sell books. And like that. And also she also does a lot of things online where she's creating a following on how about books and how to write, this kind of stuff, and it's doing really well. But yeah, that's also a little way to go. It's almost like a how-to self-help, and rub a couple of writers on the head and tell them they're pretty ponies. Because I know that I like cosmic head rubs as much as anybody else. So hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. Tell me I'm a pretty pony and feed me chocolate. I'll take it.
Tell me I'm a pretty pony and feed me chocolate.
It's all I want.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
And a best-selling book. And yeah.
That would be really nice. Yeah, but I have today. I happen to be looking on. I have on my little bulb over here. I have three things that I've gotten from people as fan things, like little fan notes. And I have three. And they're on my. And I just kind of look at them and realize, you know what? You did good work on these three people. So.
Here's the thing, and not to take away from what anybody's done, because I certainly don't want to do that. But when I first started this, I was like, oh my God, I so want to be a best-selling author. And after I've been in this for a few years, I look at it and like, who gives a shit? You're a
Yeah,
best-selling author in the category of Swedish cookbooks. You just and you just
kudos for you.
wrote a horror book,
Yeah, yeah.
or whatever. And the more I get into this, the more I think, it's really meaningless.
That in awards are meaningless.
I mean,
They're great to be able to put on your book. Hey, I'm a so-and-so award winning, which is great, because I know people who are very much influenced by that. They only read things that have won this award,
award-winning,
blah blah
um,
blah. But award
who is
winning is
the
also
author?
about who do you know. You gotta sniff the right ass to get into the finalists, and you just have to. Okay, I know a
I
few things.
I'm trying to think there's an indie author who said, I'm an award-winning author. And he said, I won the award of being the best author in my family. And he's the only author in his
In his
family.
family.
And he thinks it's funny as hell, but he's got some sort of a blurb on the front of his book where it says, he won the, whatever his last name is, award.
Yeah,
Best author of the year 3 years running. He's been an author for 3 years. He just keeps on increasing it. It's like, okay. And he said it's just as meaningful as somebody writing your and I get it.
I do. I understand it. I get it. And trust me, I'd love to win a Stoker or anything like that. It'd be nice to be able to just slap it on there, but at the same time, I understand it really is meaningless.
Well, it's just like everything else. There's politics, there's
It's
this, there's that,
politics.
blah, 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 blah. New York Times bestsellers, USA Today bestsellers, that's mainly advertising.
It's all
How much money
advertising.
do you want to frickin' spend to do something? It's
Do
a
you
big,
have the money?
it's a big, this, that,
Hmm.
and the other thing. I mean, it doesn't, none of this stuff organically happens unless you're, Matthew McConaughey and you just, release the book. You're going to be a New York Times bestseller.
Right.
Why? Because you're freaking Matthew.
Matthew McConaughey. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
or I was talking to a UK author who said, it just pisses me off. Um, Pierce Morgan.
Hmm.
He's got a talk show over there, and every damn talk show he's pushing this book that he wrote, and of course it's a bestseller and everything
Right.
else. He's plugging it for free on national TV, and it's like none of us get that,
Yeah, it's
But
ripples. How many
every
waves
day
can you
it's,
make?
oh, I wrote this book, and he pulls it up. Oh, look at this! I gotta, da, 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 da. And it meant so much to me to write this. Hopefully he wrote it.
That's the thing too. Did he write it? Oh my
Yeah,
God. Yeah, James Patterson. Yeah. But
James. Yeah. Well,
he has a stable. Maybe he writes some of his stuff. I know that he has a stable because my sister-in-law was actually in contention to be a part of his stable at one point in time.
yeah, I know he does too. I think he started out writing his own stuff. There's no doubt about that. I mean, I think the Alex Crosses, early ones are all his.
But maybe he
I've
just had the
got
time to do it now. I mean,
James Patterson is more than an author right now. He's a brand.
yes, he's a brand. He's like Ellery Queen. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
Stephen King.
yeah, I mean, they've all got these writers underneath them, the stable of if it's good enough, they put their name on it. If not, they're a sub name. But I mean, and more power to them. I get it.
It's a way to make some money if you're a writer. I
Right.
remember once we had.
I've read some of Patterson's fantasy stuff, and it's absolute shit.
I don't know. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, he writes an excellent thriller. And
But shit on fantasy.
anybody who's listening to this is my opinion. Don't really
Ugh.
care. I've listened to a couple of audiobooks and read a couple of his fantasy books, and I'm just like, this is crap. This is, and I write crap, but that's really crap. I mean,
I know crap. And trust me, this is crap.
expert at writing crap, pal, and that's crap. Yeah,
I know all about the crap.
yeah, I
Smell
do.
crap a mile away.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep, that's me. Yeah.
I write mindless shit, but I'm telling you what, this is really mindless shit.
Oh, trust me, my stuff. It's all about just sit back, turn off your head, and have a good time. You're not going to change your religion or learn anything. Oh God, never. No. I love when I get asked questions. I said, "What have you learned from your last book because you were writing it?" it was about zombie chickens. There's not a whole lot to learn.
But
You can
Nikki,
kick them really far. I mean,
Nikki, okay, the zombie chickens. What was your inspiration behind that?
so were you really talking about the economic repression, perhaps, in the Louisiana Delta? Was it? Was that what you're talking? No, man, it was just zombie chickens. I need to write a story about
The
chickens
zombie chickens,
and
yeah.
zombie chickens.
So deep
That's
down psychologically, what are you trying to tell people? That there could be zombie chickens.
yeah, chickens are assholes, and you
Yeah.
should kick them at every moment. Eat them
Oh,
all.
you know, you're bringing up childhood memories of collecting eggs and
I've only ever done that a couple of times, although I once had a chest x-ray done, and the woman said, oh, so you're from the South. And I'm like, how would you know that? All these spots on your lungs, that's from chicken poop. Have you ever been around chickens? I was like, yeah, I used to have to get that puts little spores all in your lungs.
Mhm.
So, ew.
Mhm.
So I've got that, and I've got the stuff for my cat's poop in my brain, probably gonna give me schizophrenia any day. I'm fucked from
You
head to
mean
toe.
give you or gave you?
Oh, both.
Oh,
You
okay.
know
I'm
that I'm
sorry.
nuts. No, the
Sorry for the medical
voices.
questions.
No, the voices. But I try to use the voices in creative ways,
Oh, cool.
constructive ways.
So
So
that's your inspiration behind
zombie
zombie
chickens.
chickens.
I just need to write a stupid story about chickens. So
I've
did I
got
tell the story about how zombie chickens got started?
uh-uh.
Here's the quick story. I was at a convention, and this publisher was going to put out an anthology called Poultry Pulp. And the thing was we had to write a story, like really short, like 2,000 words, real quick story. And it had to involve chickens in some way. Didn't matter what, but they had to be like real. I mean, like real pulp kind of stuff, not like chickens with guns, but chickens. So I was like, cool, challenge accepted.
Yeah.
And I had been looking for a story because I'd had the character of Jake Ishton-Hedgie since like 1998. And I've been looking for a story, and I was like, hey, Brian, I think I got a story for Jake. So I wrote up a chick, a dick, and a witch walk into a barn. And it's got the zombie chickens in it. And it's got voodoo, it's in Louisiana, it's in New Orleans, it's all kinds of stuff. And I submitted it, it was accepted, and then the anthology never went anywhere. I think I was the only person who actually submitted anything. But the publisher had said he really liked the story well enough that he said, I really like this. Do you want to make it into a series? So I'm like, I had absolutely no plans. I was like, okay, sure. And that's how all the Jake stuff. This is the first volume of Jake. See his little chickens? This is zombie chickens.
The zombie chickens.
Zombie chickens. The first Jake story, a chick, a dick, and a witch walk into a barn, which this is the first volume. I redid it, I revamped it because when I wrote it and then I read it about 6 years later, and I'm like, this is shit. This is really shit. This is terrible. It's got good bones. It's a good bone, a good skeleton of a story. But my God, this is shit. So I rewrote it and threw some meat on that skeleton. Oh my God. So yeah, that's how I got voodoo chickens, zombie chickens for my very first. It's become a joke with me and my friends about zombie chickens. Yeah. And the Jake Ishton-Hedgie and how to pronounce Ishton-Hedgie.
I like the a chick, a dick, and a witch walk into a bar.
A chicken, dick, and a witch walk into a barn. Yep, that was my husband gave me that title, and trust me, he will rain that over my head the rest of my life. Remember that first title?
As well, he should.
Yes. As I go up to get my Pulitzer, yeah, I gave her the first title of her first story. That was me, guys. That was me.
Yeah, so, right here. Where's my award?
Where's mine? It's okay. That's all right. I'll just sit back and just so you guys know.
You all freaking know. That's right.
I'm the person behind the throne. This isn't it right here, baby.
You know, I don't know, but I think it's a very rare thing for an indie author to get a Pulitzer.
You don't know. You don't know. It could happen.
You don't know. Yeah, it could happen.
Yeah, I don't care.
there's the lottery and then there's the Pulitzer.
You don't know, man. I could do both.
You could do. Yeah, same year. That'd be awesome.
I don't care. I'm just trying to write good stories. That's all I'm going for in my life. Just write a good story, and maybe it'll go somewhere, maybe it won't. But you never know who you're going to help. You never know.
No.
Who your story is going to affect in some way. Like the very first, my Jake stories, I received a letter from someone. He had Lyme disease, and he was stuck in bed. He was bedridden. And the Jake stories, I just love the Jake stories. I reread them over and over again because they're fun and they're light, and they're great fun. And they really helped me in a time when I felt like shit. I thought I was going to die. And I had the energy for anything other than. So that was great. And I always think about that. I got someone. Oh yeah, she teaches, or she's a counselor at school. And there's a young boy who came to her who was having problems with English because he hates reading. I hate reading. It's stupid. I hate reading. But he happened to see my Sherlock Holmes book on her in a bookcase, and she said, "You want to read that?" He goes, no, it looks stupid. But he read it, and he liked it so much. It got him to reading. He wants to read more Sherlock Holmes, which is perfect because the Conan Doyle stuff, they're easy, light reads. I mean, they really are. But it made me feel good. So maybe I helped this one kid. Maybe he will like to learn how to read from my little Sherlock Holmes story. So you never know. You might help somebody. The world sucks. So if you can just help one person and give them at least a little bit of happy time in their life, you're doing good.
Hell yeah, you're doing good work.
You're doing good work.
Good work.
I try. Anyway, yes. I've only had one of these, so this is all I'm getting today.
What? You've only had one?
Yes. This is me sober. You should see me drunk.
Oh, well, let's do it.
Actually, if our podcast ever actually gets off the ground, trust me, by the end of that podcast, it's called Nick and Brian Drink a Thing. We drink and we talk. And so by the end of it, we're both it's hilarious. So I do all the editing and all that crap the next day because just saving it is about as far as I can do with my brains. So
I did a podcast, I don't know what number it is, whatever, with Rachel Renner and D.W. Hawkins. And that's all we did was just, we started off with 2 shots. Actually, I think Hawkins started out with a joint. And
awesome. Start off just loosey-goosey, getting things talking.
Yeah.
Well, I usually prefer to drink whiskey when I'm really wanting to talk. But yeah.
Not me, tequila.
Ooh. Tequila's a good mixer for me. I can't drink it straight.
Yeah. Rachel and I both took our shots, and they were like, "Ooh," because I hadn't taken a shot of. I had a new type of tequila I was trying, which is really works out well in the mixed drink. In the straight shot arena, it's like, it's a little bitter. Maybe I'd go with a silver or something like that. But took a shot, took the second shot, and Hawkins is sitting there with his his joint. Looks like you guys really enjoyed that one. Whatever. Shut up.
Shut up, you hippie.
He's in Georgia right now, I think, or something like that.
Oh, yeah. I wish they would just make it legal. We're getting closer and closer in Tennessee to making it legal. State
by state, they're making it legal. South Dakota just made it all legal by July of 2021.
Nice. And, Tennessee we're the Bible Belt. You got to understand, they don't allow us to buy wine until like 8 o'clock in the morning because obviously God isn't watching until then.
Yeah.
It's Tennessee. So
Wisconsin's fairly liberal, and you'd think that they would have a good beat on getting that legalized. And it's funny because I honestly think that they haven't figured out a good way to tax the hell out of it, so they haven't passed it yet, is what I think's going on. Other than that,
I would not be surprised. Of course, the government is not going to do anything if they're making money out of it.
Well, yeah,
they're not doing shit until there's money involved.
Right, unless they can pull shit out of the ass of the hardworking American, because they don't do anything for their money. They actually just take it and spend it. But then for all your government workers out there, argue with me, please. No, I'm sorry, you're one, but I mean,
I work for the state, and the thing that I have learned is I'm a very, very small cog. I'm very bottom down here. The thing that I have noticed in my 16 years of working there, because whenever we get a new governor, we get all new commissioners and all director heads and stuff because he gives them to his friends.
Yeah.
So people who don't know dick about anything with dealing with like transportation or anything are now suddenly in charge of. So luckily they're actually depending upon the people below them to tell them what to do. And they're only going to have that gig for 4 to 8 years. So you got to make all the money you possibly can, because when the next guy comes in, odds are he's going to get rid of you and put in his college roommate.
Right.
You know?
What I think is funny is I live in Janesville, Wisconsin, and we have a city manager that's hired by the city council. And they always tout that that's a much better system than actually voting in a mayor or anything, because you don't get that political stuff. Well, bullshit, you know. It's just that, you know, whoever you pick to be the manager is going to get their friends and, you know, blah, 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 blah. It's just, you know, it's a different selection system and a different pool of friends. But what I really think is funny is that, and I make fun of this all the time to anybody who will listen, is that when there's a street construction project, Janesville's really good for, they'll dig it up and they'll do the sewer lines. And then they'll put asphalt over top of it and it's all done. And then a month later, they'll dig the whole goddamn section up again, and then they'll do the water lines, and then they'll seal it up again. And then all of a sudden, it's the storm sewers that have to be done, and they'll rip it up again. It's like, okay, who wouldn't do this all at the same time? Who the hell is scheduled? Yeah, it's right. So
it's three different contracts, because I work in legal division. We do contracts, and it's just 3 different contracts, 3 different subcontractors, and that's what it is. It's all about
and why don't you write the contract to say you're going to do it on this date?
Got me.
You know, where's the project manager? Oh,
yeah.
You know,
he's yeah.
Again,
I'm just a very small cog. I just keep that shit rolling. I just, oh my God. But I have learned, that's one thing I have learned is nothing's real. Nothing's real.
Nothing's real.
Nothing's real.
So. I was talking to a city councilman about that. And just, he said, well, if you think you can do a better job, I said, a monkey can do a better job of planning than this. What are you talking about? I can not only do a better job, I know 14 other people right now who can do a better job than this. Come on. Well, you know, this guy's been here a long time and It's like, I don't care if he can't do it. If I can't do my job, I get fired. I get fired even if I can do my job. You know what?
I've had that.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter. You can get fired because you looked at somebody the wrong way. You can, whatever. This guy's protected. He's doing a shitty job and wasting how many hundreds of thousands of dollars every year. You know, well, you know, and then they got a new guy. And guess what? The new guy does the same damn thing. It's just like, whatever. Okay, this is just a scam. This is somebody's making money someplace I don't see.
I just got an email yesterday telling me that they're going to have everyone, all state workers, all state employees, take a 4-hour defensive driving course. Why?
Put on by my good friend.
I'm a file clerk, or I mean, I just what? And then I looked into it deeper, and it's even a 4-hour defensive driving course online. It's an online driving course. So my first question is, okay, who is benefiting from this online course? Who's making the monies? Right. Who's going to be? So someone somewhere is making some serious cash, because what their logic was, there's a lot of different people who like take a car from the state lot, and they're like having accidents and whatnot. I hate to tell you this, but I don't take one. Nobody on my level takes that shit. So you should have all the people on those levels who actually take the cars. It's stupid. It's a waste of money. Serious, crazy waste of money and time. 4 hours?
I always wonder if you could actually get a politician or a bureaucrat to actually tell the truth. You know, get them on a program or something like that, truth serum, whatever it is. Okay, why did you do this? And 9 times out of 10, I think it's going to be an explanation of, well, you know, my brother-in-law's been having a hard time and he had this product, and I thought, why don't I just help him out? And I tried to figure out how to put it into the system that would make sense, and that's what I came up with. I tried to make it fit, it didn't, so then I just did it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, quite frankly. It's a lot of, especially here in TDOT and in Tennessee, good old boy. Although there's laws against it, there's big laws. And whenever they do like an RFP or whatever, where they send out all these things, everybody can put their bid in for a particular project. Well, the deal is, most little guys don't have the technology or the ways to do it. So these big guys are always going to get it, but they've clicked that little check mark to say, well, we gave it to Joe Blow over here. He had an option and he put in his bid, but he can't do it. They're always going to go to these top 3 guys.
Well, and they write the RFP. I've seen that from government entities too, just in computer stuff, where they make it so specific. It's like, we would never do it that way. Well, we have a vendor that would.
We have a vendor.
This is the dumbest way of doing things ever. I think that the last one that I saw when I was actually dealing with government entities was, and if anybody's a computer guy out there, it was, just about the time where token ring cabling, the token ring plants were dead. And Ethernet was a big deal. Ethernet's, the big deal right now, as far as just regular copper wiring and everything else. And we had a municipality that wanted to rip out their Ethernet and put token ring in. And they had specific products, they had this, that, and so they're stepping back in technology.
Right. All
new cards, all this other stuff. And there's only one vendor that would actually do that for them. And my God, they got picked. And it's just like, okay, this is all set up. There's no reason to even bid it out because you knew which way this was going.
Yeah.
It's going to somebody specific. And so they wrote the RFP for this person.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so it's 2004 and you're putting in 1990 technology. Good for you. Good. I hope that really works out well. And then I heard from another guy years later that it only took him 6 years to rip that out and put fiber optics and Ethernet back in. And it's like, oh my God. It was a new budget year, so who cares?
They have extra money. We got to spend. If we don't spend it, we won't get it.
Right.
So it's that idea too.
And they think we're idiots when we go to the voting office. Oh, we'd like this referendum on this to be able to do that. You already have the money. Give me a break.
Got the monies. So
yeah. You just marked it for one of your friends or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Back to books.
Back to grumpy old white people talking. Yeah.
Grumpy old white people, and that's nonfiction. Actually, is it fiction? I don't know. It's really hard to tell.
Nowadays, it's hard to tell fiction from nonfiction. You crazy? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how has 2020 been for you? Has it been? Because for me, it's I've been that bad, really.
Really?
I feel guilty saying that. Well, because I'm working from home.
Yeah.
I go on once a week. My family stayed healthy. My family stayed employed. I have no problem staying home because, again, I am like the queen of the introverts. I can live in this room. As long as I have access to a bathroom and a kitchen, I am fine. I have no problems. I don't need, and the internet. I need my internet. I got to be able to go get my podcast and talk to my friends and stuff. Other than that, I'm perfectly fine not going into an office every day because it's boring. So I've been fine. And the muse has not left me. I've worked on a lot of projects and I've gotten stuff done. It's been fine for me so far. So I feel guilty because I have so many friends who have not. Divorces are really rising, and sickness, and I've lost their jobs, almost lost their houses. It's been terrible. But no, it's been okay for me so far. So yeah, sorry. Now, of course, the universe is going to go, oh man, we forgot her. Yeah, we have really step on this bitch in 2021. No, she got to go. So
there was this show that Ted Danson was on, and it was called Becker.
I loved Becker.
Did you? Okay, the rubber band theory. Do you remember that?
No.
Okay.
I remember the Velcro.
Oh no.
Yeah.
this is the one thing that really stuck with me. He's sitting there and he was such an optimist, not.
Oh, not I know.
And something good happened to him. He's like, oh shit.
And
they're sitting in that cafe, I think, or whatever it was. And what do you mean? That's good. He goes, no. It's bad. It's bad. It's just the beginning. And what are you talking about? He goes, life is like a rubber band. And he said, so you have this rubber band, and every good thing stretches the rubber band out just a little bit.
Oh no.
and stretches it out. So there'll be something else good that happens, and it'll stretch it out even more. And then something else good will happen, it'll stretch it out even more until that rubber band breaks and smack.
Right, you're right in the head. And that's when that's when universe goes, just reminding you who you are, talking
It's
monkey.
just
You're nothing.
Yeah, exactly. You are nothing, and that's exactly
You're nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, and of course, in the
God.
course of half an hour, several good things happen to him, and then he gets smacked. And like
Of course.
sitting there at the end drinking a cup of coffee. I told you.
Probably waiting for please let something bad happen to me.
Yeah.
It's not been bad so far. So
Cool.
yeah.
I've written a whole bunch of stuff and haven't published anything. That's been my whole year.
Oh yeah, I've been writing a lot. I've been published. No, I got the Jake stuff. I got the Jake stuff done this year.
Yeah.
Other than that, a friend of mine asked me the other day, "Are you ever going to publish Stone Baby?" And I was like, I hadn't really thought about Stone Baby. I wrote Stone Baby for an anthology, and the guy who was doing the anthology went crazy. He just disappeared.
Oops.
It was really sad because all these people who were involved with it, a lot of them were newbie writers, and they really decided this was going to be their big break. And I was like, "Oh, sweetie, darling, no, it's not going to be your big break. It's just one more anthology." So he just kind of disappeared. So I have this story, and I hadn't really thought about it. So now I'm thinking, well, maybe I got a cover. My daughter is an artist, and she made me a cover years ago. So I thought, well, maybe I should put out Stone Baby. But other than that, I've been writing again, but publishing, not so much really. But at least writing. At least you're writing. I have writer friends who are so just blocked up with anxiety, they haven't done shit.
I'm just getting to the point to where I'm going to rewrite everything that I've written, and look for an aggressive publishing schedule in 2021.
That's what I'm looking to.
Yeah, just I've got a good inventory of crap rough drafts.
Yes, no, it's good to have crap rough drafts. It's something.
Yeah. And even some things that are new projects and everything else, and I actually sent one to a proofreader just so I could take that rough draft and throw it out to some betas. It's basically a concept story. I started the third book in that series. I want to see how the first book's accepted because it's a little odd.
What genre is it? Don't you hate that question? I know, yeah.
Who's interviewing who I'm here?
Sorry, I told you.
Huh?
Well, so the story, that's what I'm writing right now, Crown of Feathers. People have asked me, so what genre? And I'm like, I really don't know. I don't know. That's marketing's problem. That's not my problem. That's marketing's problem. I just got to write the damn thing.
Kind of steampunk and also futuristic dystopian kind of. So, basically the gist of it is I've got this lady, and she builds pets, mechanical pets.
That's very cool.
Okay. She has 12 dogs of her own. Somebody is stealing the pets. And it's really covered to actually get her. She makes the best pets. She has the best design. And she actually was taught by a previous master tinkerer, and she's now a master tinkerer, and she's very young. And through the first book, she's kind of finding herself, she's been very involved in making these pets, and that's all. She's an introvert. That's all she wants to do is just build and fix shit.
Make her own best friends.
Right. And now she feels like her best friends are threatened. And so she's building in protections, but it's been deemed illegal to actually build in protections. And after they kill, I think it's 17 or 18 people.
Oh, no.
Through the course of the story, she actually gets arrested.
Okay.
And because you're responsible for what your pet does in this society.
Well, yeah.
And then she's contracted by the cops to build canines.
Okay, about to say, yeah, okay.
Yeah. That doesn't go so well.
Oh, no.
And there's somebody out there messing with her because they can and they want to, and they actually want her designs for their own, but they also want to get her out of the industry so that maybe they could possibly marry her. because before she was so intensely looking at
Mhm.
she only had room for her dogs at first, and so they're trying to take everything away from, so maybe she might turn to them. She's beautiful.
I was about to ask you, so what's her love interest? So,
Yeah, well, I mean,
write
that's
romance?
yeah, I do. No. So this is the type of romance I write.
Yeah, of course, I would think so, yeah.
Okay,
Well,
by the time you're done with the and these are novelettes, so I'm going to serialize.
cool.
And by the time you get to the ninth novelette, she is a Hannibal Lecter like killer.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Is she
so
our pro tag?
she kind of has a story arc.
What to say? Well, this is our pro tag? Okay. Jesus, all right.
And so the finale will be 10. And that's where it all kind of comes together, and she finds her place in the world as
Yeah, no.
somebody with a good amount of skills and a very unique way of making sure that you don't cross her.
Ooh, that sounds exciting. It'd be a good Netflix series.
It might be.
We should pitch it. So if Marvel would ever get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah, no kidding.
Jesus. Can't do
That's what we
anything
need, is one
new.
more Marvel flick out there.
Did you see they're going to be doing another, what is it? Shit.
Loki?
Oh, yeah, True Blood things. Those things.
Oh, are they really?
They're rebooting it. I never watched the first one, but I'm like,
why are they rebooting it? It wasn't.
there's so much new shit. There's so many fresh ideas. Why are we rebooting this shit? I mean, hasn't it only been dead for a few years? Why are we rebooting this shit? So it made me very mad.
What pissed me off, and I've said this in a couple other podcasts. They canceled Altered Carbon.
Oh, I never had a chance to see it, but it's good.
They've got 2 seasons out there. Well, have you read the books?
No.
Oh my god.
They're good. I gotta read them. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll stick
and
them
the
on my
series
list.
is like, oh my god.
Okay, sorry. I will on the list. All right. Okay.
Carbon. And
I can't talk to you anymore. I'm sorry.
They cancel shit like that, and then so this is really good. Okay, yeah. The Last Kingdom is another one that is just like, oh my god, this is awesome. Okay, I'm sure they'll cancel that too, and with the latest cupcake baking show, or the latest or revamped True Blood, or I mean, there's been a bunch of series where they just killed it.
Yeah, in the middle of stuff.
Yeah, for and it was like, oh my god, I can't believe you did this. Oh, and this month we have a new release of what? Another retake on Sparkly Vampires, or whatever the hell.
Or whatever. I really don't get involved in television shows anymore. I don't really invest a whole lot of energy and time, because I know, what's the point if I'm going to fall in love with this and they're just going to take it away from me.
I binged watched during 2020 a lot of stuff that I just didn't have time to watch before. And which is nice. So I got to see a lot of stuff that other people have been talking about.
Right.
I got to read a lot of things that I was able to actually take my stack of to be read and get it down, and then add twice as much to it. So now I'm really
all the time.
But
yeah.
And
plus the research you're doing for your own stuff and everything else. I mean, it's always something. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't feel like any of that time's lost, because it's I write dark fantasy, I write horror, I write urban fantasy, steampunk, grim dark. I'm kind of in that area. The fun stuff.
The fun stuff, family fun.
Right. It's a book that everybody can enjoy, but and I'll say that my writing suffered this year, because it's not as, there's just something missing from it this year. That's why I'm rewriting, because I kind of got it back. Wrote one short story that I consider subpar, that I went in with a bunch of other authors, and it's an origin story for my one of my series, and I look at it now a month later after it's published, it's like, oh, I could have done a lot better, whatever.
I always do that.
But all of a sudden I got whatever the hell happened. It's like, okay, now I'm writing it at a good clip now. So it's like boom, 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 boom. I got 3 novelettes done. I've got 2 novels that I'm rewriting, and I'm like halfway through both of them. I've got too many projects going on. Plus, I started this podcast. Plus I have my own computer consulting business now, and I am working freaking 16 hours a day, 14 hours a day, whatever the hell it is, and I've never been happier.
Yes.
And
you probably have loved ones who want to spend time with you and stuff. Ugh.
Yeah, I've seen them every now and then.
Oh my God! Every time my husband wants to like spend time with me.
Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking. They never did before.
I'm sorry. You met me. You know who I am. You married this. You know what this is all about. So.
Yeah, this is your problem, not mine. Sorry. I'm happy with myself.
Poor guy. Brian and I, we've often thought about it'd be really fun to have if we were at a convention, have a panel. It's called The Other Side of the Desk. And it's basically about the loved ones or significant others of writers and what the crap they have to go through dealing with whack jobs like us who are constant. I mean, I'm in the middle of a project. That's all I do. I'm obsessed with it. You have to remind me to eat. You have to shower.
What's funny is that's real. That is so freaking real. So you can be in the middle of a conversation with somebody, and your significant other or whatever, and you're actually thinking about
I'm over here.
The next scene. You're thinking about this, and you're like, yeah. Go ahead and take a sledgehammer to that. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
Well, my husband,
so what do you think about this?
Yeah, my eyes will kind of fog over. He'll go, oh, you're thinking about something else, aren't you? Yeah, hold on a second. Then I grab something and I write it down. All right, go ahead. What is it now? Or one time I was in the middle of a project, getting it done. Brian took me out of the house physically to get some food. And it was one of those things of getting food, basically walking me to the car because I went to the wrong car because I wasn't there. I was somewhere else. And people who aren't creatives, who don't do this, don't understand, I'm not here. And I'll tell both of my kids, Daniel is a writer and Brent is an artist. So when I tell them, hey, mommy's going dark for a while, they understand, okay, gotcha, no problem. They don't bother.
Got it. Yeah.
Gotcha, man, you're going dark for a while. Don't come to me unless you're bleeding from the eyeballs or if the house is on fire, okay? So, but my kids are adults. They live with us, but they're adults. They get their little business. They got their own little parts of the house, and that's their business. So.
Yeah, I'm married to an accountant. And where creativity is not, I don't know, I don't have any complaints, I guess, but it's one of those things where, why don't you just do this? It doesn't work that way. I'm sorry.
It doesn't. Yeah, my husband is, although he was a theater guy, you understand, he was a theater, he was an actor before he went into the Marine Corps and all that. So he does, and he gets his creativity out. He's also a reenactor. He's a historical reenactor. So he goes through these phases. Right now, he's really big in Roman stuff. So my garage looks like Spartacus threw up. Because you understand, my husband is a real picky stickler guy. Everything has to be historically accurate. When he was in the Civil War stuff, and he did both sides, he was a cross-dresser, everything had to be. He was a cross-dresser. He made some money doing that too, because he could do stuff for documentaries and movies and stuff. All of his stuff is historically accurate and perfect. Then he was in World War I stuff. All of his stuff is historically perfect. He's in a Highland regiment, so he wears a kilt. And there's some place in Arkansas where a guy has an entire field that looks like a trench warfare. And once a year, they go out there and they have battles and things. Not this year because of COVID. And now he's big into Romans. And there's some place he goes, I think it's in Pennsylvania, where they have it set up, or it's like a Roman camp. And up on the hill, they have a Germanic camp, so they can fight the Germans, the Germanic tribes. It's the biggest nerd orgasm. You should see these guys. He loves it. They love it. He has Zoom meetings with his Roman friends, and they all wear their togas and whatever it is they're wearing.
Oh, so he's upper class. He's not coming in dressed as Spartacus or anything, huh?
Well, I don't know what the hell he is. That's his world. I don't know anything about it. All I know is it's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff.
And don't ever tell me how much this shit costs, because I don't want to know. That's your world. But he gets all of his stuff like from Poland and Italy. It's just amazing. It's amazing. I know this is like a subgenre. I didn't realize even existed. Also, we started working on an idea.
So whenever I hear anything about Romans like that, I think of gladiators. And when I think of gladiators, I think of airplane. Oh,
Why?
Billy, do you like gladiator
Oh,
movies?
do you like gladiator movies? We started thinking of a great idea for a story. Is imagine it's a Roman reenacting. You start off with the movie coming in where you see guys and they're all dressed in the Roman stuff and they're like fighting and they look very Roman, blah, blah, blah. And then someone's phone goes off. Then you pull back and you see that it's a Roman reenactment. And the deal is, while they're having this Roman reenactment in the middle of nowhere, the zombie apocalypse happens. So the Germanic tribe on the hill, because they're open, someone gets infected and eventually, so these guys have to, throughout the night, fight zombies with only Roman technology. That's all they got. So we thought this would be brilliant. And he talked to his friends like, I want to do this. So I started writing the script and yeah, then it just kind of died. Because I wrote the script and they didn't like it. And I was like, okay, fine, right? Do your goddamn stuff. I got things to do. So
Yeah, exactly.
okay, fine then. I got no skin in this game. But yeah, it's a cool idea. I still might write it, but I think it'd make a better movie than a book. It's one of those things I think would just be better visually than.
I don't know. I can see that being a book.
I think it'd be a good comic book too. Big graphics.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I love graphic novels. So, but yeah. Anyway, yes. That's my life. Sorry.
See, I, the zombie thing I get, and I'm also thinking, like a paranormal type thing too.
You can have that too, yeah. Well,
somebody builds something that's that's actually right to scale, and it actually
conjures up Mithras, yeah, or something.
Yeah, something like that.
We could go all Lovecraft on this and conjure up some elder gods.
Absolutely.
We could do all stuff like this because we're big Call of Cthulhu game players here in this house. We do all.
You could actually combine it all.
We could.
Paranormal and zombie.
And zombies. Oh, okay. Now stick that on the list of things to do.
Things to do.
Damn it, and muses don't understand. Things just don't happen. It's hard. They just don't understand how hard it is to get shit done. No. Muses, they just go, well, why haven't you done this? Because I got 5 other things to do and laundry. Okay, shit to do.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's not easy, but I love it. I mean, it's what I am. I think if you're a creative, you're just a creative, and it's just what you are. If I'm not creating, it's bad. I go down slippery slope down in Big Depressionville, and I'm not a good person when I'm depressed. So it's not good. It's no good. Brian knows that's why he's like, when if I'm not doing something, he'll start pushing me towards working on a project just because he doesn't want me to go down that
slide.
Big, deep, dark hole. Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know a writer who doesn't have some sort of mental illness. So.
That's good to know.
Oh, we're all nuts. Every damn one of us. Schizophrenia, very, very prevalent. Mm-hmm. Very prevalent amongst writers, especially depression, bipolar disorder, mania. Yeah. So what do you got? I've actually had writer groups. We get together, and afterwards we all sat around and we discussed what our mental illness was, and then what medication they were taking. And it came to me and my friend Robert Crow, who were like, anxiety, depression, or medication, alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
What else would I use?
I use what God gave me, alcohol. So.
Yeah. God gave me Jack Daniels, and I shall use it.
That's how you know God loves you.
Right.
So, because God gave me Jack Daniels. I'm out of, actually every Christmas I always get a big thing of Jack Daniels, and I'm all out. And so I'm like counting down the days till I get my Jack.
They have stores.
I know, but I don't want to buy it. I want someone else to buy it for me. That shit's expensive. So, although that's expensive, I have a friend who lives in England, and it really costs a lot over there.
I think it's funny that a $30 bottle of Jack Daniels here is I mean what you'd spend for really, really good sipping whiskey.
Yeah, right. It's extremely expensive, and to us this is just Jack. And I usually get Gentleman Jack. It's just Jack.
Right.
But no, over there it's just yeah. When I was
it's high class stuff over there, and it's like
you're like, it's just it's Brits. What do you want?
Like a bottle of Jim Beam, whatever. Okay.
Whatever. Gross. So yeah, but yeah. Anyway, Alcoholism too. We forgot about that. Alcoholism.
Yep. I tell you what, we've got all the good ones.
All the good stuff. We're fun to be around, unless we're not fun.
Well, have you ever thought about it like this? Maybe all those manias and psychotics and isms and everything else that we have. Maybe that's actually normal, and the rest of the people that don't have that shit are the ones that aren't normal
or boring. Yeah.
Yeah, they're boring.
They're boring. They're so boring. I mean,
Yeah.
we're like the Hunter S. Thompsons of the world, but not that
Exactly.
crazy. I'd love to write as just.
Well, I mean, they're the ones that suppress us.
They do, those bastards, because they can't handle it.
That's
Can't
right.
handle the truth.
Can't handle the truth. Oh shit! Well, we're running at about an hour and 10 minutes here for the recording.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow,
did we even talk about your books? Oh yeah, we did Rumble.
We did. We talked about Rumble. We talked about Jake, Sherlock Holmes.
Cool.
Yada yada. Just go to Amazon and look me up. That's where
Just look her up.
Nikki
I'll put all the links
Amazon.
in the show description and in my posts and everything when this puppy gets put up. But
cool.
This
How
puppy
fun.
gets put up. I'm gonna have so much fun and good kicking books. Anyway.
Writing about the books.
Writing about the books.
Oh my God. Do you have a hard time being a reader now that you're a writer?
Yes.
Me too. I have a hard time. If a book really grabs me and pulls me in, that's a really fucking good book. Because the writer in me, the editor, is reading it and kind of going, oh, why did you use that?
No, I don't have that problem.
I do.
Because I'm pretty good at reading things for what they are. I mean, but I also find that my intuitiveness on movies and my intuitiveness on books is much better. I mean, this is where they're going with this. Oh, they're using this, I mean, and you can kind of see that. And whether it's a good book or, not so good book or whatever, I enjoy reading them. My problem is that if I'm reading something, I'll read a little bit of it and then I'll stop because I'll have an idea of my own writing and I'll go write.
On your own stuff?
I'd rather write than read.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm doing a lot of research right now. So a lot of my stuff that I'm reading is nonfiction. But I try to bring in the fiction because you have to. I try to do both, but I do find to turn off my editor. If I'm editing a lot, I turn off that inner editor because I will ask, what the fuck? What are you doing? Or again, you see the tropes. You see, I know it's going to happen. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, there it goes.
Yep.
Yeah. So I love it when I'm either watching a movie or watching a television show, reading a book, and they catch. Whoa! I didn't see that coming. Right. I love that, but it's hard because it's only so many stories. Yeah. And it's really hard to and also I love to tear things down to understand why it works, good and bad. I love to tear down movies and stories just to figure out how, oh my God, I'm like a vivisectionist of fiction.
Yeah, I don't know how many of my buddies' books that I've read that's like, oh, that's how you do that, or oh my God, that's amazing, and you actually pick some things up, and then I'll read some other stuff. It's like, oh, that's why you don't do that.
That's why you don't do that. It's that's so boring. Don't bore me. That's my thing. Don't bore me.
Yeah, and then you have high aspirations for your own work, and then you're like, oh my God, I did that same thing.
Trust me. When I reread the first Jake story, oh my God, that is such shit. I gotta get that thing taken down right now. Because everybody kept how great it was. It's not. It really sucks. But I rewrote it, and trust me, it's so much better. And it just sucked. So and
so how many people read it the second time and said, oh no, you kind of ruined it?
So far, no one's really told me much about the Jakes. I just did them, and the only reason I even continued them is because of my friend who, the guy who told me about the Lyme disease and all that. He kept pushing, please, more Jakes. So I finished up these two books. These two volumes have 6 stories. Also, in the end of the second volume, I have the first 2 chapters of Jake number 7. If I ever write it. Yeah. If I ever write it, I have an idea for it, and every so often I'll kind of go on and my husband's like, "Oh God, Dan, you're gonna write that Jake story, aren't you?" Well, I might. You don't know. So we'll see. But again, I was talking with a friend recently, and she's like, there's a series that she's writing. She's like, I'm probably not going to write the next book because there's no money in it. I'm not making any money, and I can go write these and maybe make some money. So we kind of talked shop for a while in the front yard. She came to my house. We're both wearing our masks, and we're talking, and about just starting to shop about, you never know what's going to sell. You never know what's going to hit. She's, I'm really hoping I keep throwing something out, something will hit. I'll have all this back stuff, this back stock. Well, I like this. Let's go look and see. But all my stuff is all over the place. I write in so many different genres that pretty much if you're looking for something, you're going to find it, except for romance and children. I don't write for kids either. Although, oh my God, at a festival, this kid came up, and the kid, what did the kid want? The kid wanted The Problem at Gruff Springs. She wanted this one. And her mom was like, well, don't you want the one with the little fairies? And I said, well, what's this book about? Well, it's got cannibalistic mole people. I want that, Mom. I want the cannibalistic mole people, Mom. And so she said, well, does it have any sex in it? And I don't think there's any cursing. I'm trying to remember. And then later, after the kid bought the book, I'm spending the rest of the day thinking, oh my God, is there anything in that might disturb this 9-year-old child? Oh shit, I forgot about the sagging tit scene. Oh no. So
So, I mean, do you ever just think, oh, she's a future author?
She's a future something, a serial killer.
A future something.
Because that kid, again, she was like 9, and she had that mother by the short hairs, just pulling her around. Mother, I don't want the fairy book. I want that book with the cannibalistic trolls. Oh shit. No. All right. Because I wouldn't put up that kind of crap from my kids.
No. But
I gave birth to you. I can take you out. So yeah, no.
That's when you sit there and you play on it, because remember, it's just a business. It'd be another $15 to get that signed here. Would you like that?
Would you like that too, little kid? So yeah. Oh, I hope that kid's okay somewhere.
Mommy, come on.
Mother. Well, this was in Franklin. And Franklin's where the rich people live in Tennessee. It wasn't in Franklin, so she's one of those kids. She's used to telling people what to do. So.
Mother, please pay the bill.
Mother, yes, darling, here we go.
Sorry, dear, I wasn't fast enough. I actually had to blow my nose back there, but I'm sorry. I won't do that again.
I won't do it again. I'll never do it again. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, right. Whereas the rest of us would be like, shut up.
Whack. Guess you don't want to eat for the next 2 days, do you, kid? Whack.
Yeah. So. Do you remember the closet? No.
Not the closet, Mother.
Yeah. Oh my God. All righty. Well, I first of all, I'm going to tell you that you can come back anytime you want.
Awesome. This is great fun. I had a good time.
Yeah. And, when you got something out or whatever, just let me know. Email me, whatever you want to do.
I will let you know.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
And is there anything else you want to tell your readers about what, what's coming out next year, what's coming out? Just kind of reinforce.
Basically, I am working on a story called The Crown of Feathers, which is basically about this little boy. It's set in Appalachia, turn of the century. His mother's dying. He finds out that the reason they know she's dying because she has like a crown of feathers. Do you know what a crown of feathers is? In the Appalachian folk tales, if a person is dying, you can know they're going to heaven because there'll be like a ball of feathers underneath their pillow. So the little boy decides, I'm going to save my mom. He steals the ball of the crown of feathers and hides it, and finds out that sometimes death is better. Because
you know what's really fun about you?
What?
I can't wait to watch hear your podcast, but you're really good at coming up with questions and then answering them before I can take a breath. So that's really awesome.
sorry. So that's
coming crown of feathers. Let me tell you the crown of feathers.
Let me tell you. I'm working on that. There's this romantic. I'm going to try to write a romantic kind of thing. I don't have a title for it, and it's going to be that's my second thing in 2020, but it's going to have monsters and murders. I know that much, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm working on it, working on the outline. So there's going to be that in 2020. And that's basically the only 2 things I'm working about, as well as my husband and I are working on a podcast, and we plan on getting at least 12 in the can before we start to, actually putting it out. I just bought the music for the intro today, so we're working on it. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's called Nick and Brian Drink a Thing, and the idea is just 2 old farts that sit and we drink a bottle of wine, we talk about it, we give our impressions, and then one of us gives a story about something. We do research about something, and we talk about the thing, And then afterwards, I do what's called a Freudian slip, where I talk about something. You ever, it's 40 Times? Are you familiar with that magazine?
I'm waiting
It's a
for you to
British.
answer it.
Okay, 40 Times is a British magazine that deals with a lot of weird shit. It's all about weird stuff, and I love it. So what I'll do is during a Freudian slip, I will read a little bit thingy from the Freudian slip, and the 40 Times, of course, give all the attributes and stuff. And then we talk about that for a little bit. Then we talk about the drink again, and then boom, we're done. It's a lot of fun. Trust me. Last one we did was about medieval divorces and erectile dysfunction.
Realistically, shouldn't your husband be doing the Freudian slip?
You would think so, but he doesn't.
You'd think so. I remember my mother. Anyway.
So the last one was about that. And I did a thing about Viking poop and how the parasites in the Viking poop, how that has changed the DNA of modern day Danish people.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Yeah.
It's actually fascinating. So anyway, that's what we're working on right now. I'm doing a lot of research on the Lawson murders. Are you familiar with that? The Lawson murders? I'm doing a lot of research on that, and that's going to be my next contribution to the podcast, is my little take on the Lawson murders. And I'm working on another thing about Mary Bell. That's another thing in the future for our podcast, is I'm going to do my little take on the Mary Bell case. I do a lot of murders. I do Brian's his expertise is in history.
This is being recorded. Do you want to rephrase that?
I do a lot of
murders.
Sorry. I do all the murders. His expertise is in history, that kind of stuff. My expertise is pretty much everything else, all the weird shit. Weird occult murders, all that stuff. That's me, because I do love a good murder.
A friend of mine has she does videos and blogs on weird shit that fascinates me.
I love that. It's a great title.
Joan De La Haye. She's a horror author out of South Africa. I'm sorry. And
shit that fascinates me. Yeah.
It is, she's fantastic as far as how she presents it.
Yes, that's what I'm looking for, and learning more about how to present.
Just go to her YouTube channel. It is, I love them. The problem is that if I watch them, it's like, okay, I need to be fixed on it. I've got too much stuff to do right now to be fixed on it. But
yeah. I have podcasts like that. There's some podcasts I just have in the background, just voices, and there's some podcasts I have to actually listen to because I'm taking notes.
Yeah. So exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm taking up too much of your time. Okay.
But well, you know what? It has been Nikki. It's been an absolute pleasure.
It's been so much fun. Thank you. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, this has been great. At some point in time, we should do. You, me, and your husband should do a drink and think.
We're going to do that. One of our future things is to start bringing people in to do a drink and thing. Right now, we're still learning because neither one of us know what the fuck we're doing. So we're learning, and once we get really better at this, we've got people already lined up to come and give us, bring a story, whatever you want to talk about, whatever weird shit that fascinates you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'll give you Joan's number. You can get a hold of her. She's really good at that. But like I said, look her up on.
Well, I am. I'm writing down notes. I'm a note taker, so I am.
Get a bunch of authors do a drunken round table. That'd be hilarious.
So much fun. Can you imagine? Oh my God.
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to limit it to like 4 or 5 so you don't talk over each other. Otherwise, it'd just be a bunch of voices. But
bunch of people just shut the fuck you're talking about. Yeah. I have.
What if? Yeah.
What if we do this? So yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Let's talk about the decomp rates. Yeah. We have actually, I was with my writer friends, and we were at a Shoney's having a meetup, and we started discussing the decomp rates of how much a body would decompose, and like you put it into a chef robe or a steamer trunk and blah, blah, blah. We're talking all these things. Then we suddenly realized that all the tables that were around us are now suddenly empty, and they've all moved away from us.
Yeah.
So we can't take us anywhere.
You know what's hilarious is that there's a lot of research on that kind of stuff for the CSI units.
Oh, yes. The body farm in Knoxville.
Yeah.
Bass, Dr. Bass, he comes to Killer Nashville, which is a crime writer convention that happens once a year here in Nashville. Anyway, Dr. Bass comes, and he's great. He was one of the first people who worked at the body farm in UT Knoxville, and he has the best stories about decomp rates and all that kind of stuff, if you're really into that kind of stuff.
Right. And some people listening to this go, what the hell is a good story about a decomp rate of a body? Oh no, there's some good ones.
Oh, there's some good ones. You've got to know this shit.
You
So,
do.
You do. If you're going to write a story about a murder, you got to know your shit. So
You do. You do. Even if, I mean, you need to know your shit, basically.
Know your shit.
Know your shit.
That's going to be our next t-shirt, just know your shit. Okay.
Know your shit. I'm going to write that down. Know
your
shit. All right, cool.
Okay.
Other than that, you know what? I'm going to call this to a close again.
Okay, I'm sorry. You'll get me going. And I would
just get you going. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. That's what we authors do. We're so introverted. But
we're lonely people. Okay?
We're lonely people who have somebody to talk and listen to us. Oh my God.
But actually talk back, not just inside my head.
Right. It's much better when you have an external voice versus an internal voice.
Oh, sometimes, yeah. Sometimes those voices, yeah.
Sometimes you can't tell the difference, but
sometimes.
On that,
that's what the pills are for.
This is Jeff with the DIY Writer Podcast, wishing you all a great day and keep your chin up.
Please hit the subscribe button. I get a bonus for every subscriber and I only need 1,506 more to become a full-time paid employee. Help me please.